back. It's episode number 14. Jason,
What up? We here.
We got a special guest tonight.
I'm here too. I'm here.
Hi.
He's a return guest. Kyle, how are you tonight, buddy?
I've been here before. I'm swell.
Kyle's going to be
Still
sober
swell.
for this one.
I'm
be
gonna be
different.
sober for the foreseeable future. We'll see if it's worth it.
Good.
Let's see how this thing pans out. Let's see if you change as a man.
As Dom takes a drink, cheers to you.
Kyle, this one's for both of us.
I appreciate that. It's it's not a difficult thing for me to do. It's more of, I think I kind of get inside my own head a little bit over it because I've done this before. I've taken
Right.
some little stints of sobriety, and maybe I am a little too hard on myself with setting expectations. Like, oh, something's gonna happen. I'm gonna feel different, and then I don't. I'm like, maybe I just psych myself out. So I'm just gonna try to act natural.
The only way to find out is to give your body a good couple of months to cleanse out and see if you do feel better,
Yeah. Just
I'm
try
sure
it
your
out.
lungs are going to thank you.
Well, welcome to the new year, the new Chinese New Year.
Dude, happy Boar Year.
It's good to be here.
Yeah. So now you can actually start your New Year's
Oh my God.
resolutions.
What a coincidence.
Fresh as
Maybe
fuck.
I'm Chinese, or I was in a past life.
Dude,
Deep.
I'd be so stoked if you were.
Well, half the world is, or something, right?
That's very true. We're either Asian or black, I think, is what
Few
it's coming
billion.
down to.
We're all from Africa originally, so
Simba de Muero. I've seen fucking Lion King.
there's no humans in that, though.
There is none.
Are you saying we came from?
I'm saying
lions
James
and
Earl
tigers?
Jones is black, and he was Mufasa.
Hey, I know everything you just said, but I haven't seen Lion King before.
Oh my God!
Holy. Okay, let's talk about that. First of all, you're missing some sweet Billy Crystal. I mean, as Timon. Timon?
Timon.
Timon.
Do you know
Timon.
all the voice actors? of
No,
Lion King?
I only know James
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. Is that his
One.
name?
James
Yes.
Earl Jones.
James
yes.
Earl Jones, and I know
Darth Vader.
Simba was a chick, right? I recently heard.
no, Simba.
No?
Simba was this little black kid who used to be on, I forget what show. He's a little child actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
but
think it was
but
a
he
woman.
was but I remember Nala. Who was Nala? Was Nala Jada Smith
Oh, that's what I
when
was
she was
thinking
little?
of.
Yeah, I
Or
think
maybe a-
Nala his girlfriend
A
was
hip hop figure or something like that.
So that's one of the films I got the most hate from in school for not seeing.
I bet.
That's you know why? Because
big
we
one.
all listen. This okay. Here's a weird thing about watching a movie when you're at home and you're free to express your emotions, and by that I mean cry when his dad dies.
Oh,
But they played that movie at
Spoiler.
school one time when I was in, I want to say 5th, 6th grade or something like that, one of the early years. And I was stressing because that part was coming up. And I have never done anything but fucking cry at that part, dude.
I'm gonna cry in front of all my friends.
And that
Oh,
was the
shit.
worry. I was just
I gotta
like,
go to the bathroom.
oh my God, dude, I'm not going to be able to hold back a tear. It's going to be it's going to be impossible to hold a tear back when his dad gets trampled. And I think
Damn.
I think I did a pretty good job. But I also
You
think I looked
did.
around and a couple of people were kind of like, all right,
Yeah.
he'll die.
That would have been me for Gladiator. It's one of the most few predictable things in my emotional history, but I cry every time I see the scene in Gladiator when he's dying and he's running his hands through the
wheat.
straw. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a visual I never forgot. When he's first, when he's like,
So powerful.
I used to have horses. Proximo.
Dude.
Father to a murdered son.
hey, but
Yeah,
before
father
we
to
get
a
away
medicine.
from the whole lion thing,
I'm sorry, dude. Come on back.
no, that's okay. Did you hear the story about the guy who fought a mountain lion this week?
Yes, and it choked out. a
Yeah,
fucking
this dude
mountain
fucking
lion.
he
We
suffocated.
still got it, baby. Humans, we still got it.
Still on top of that motherfucking food
Top
chain.
of the food chain.
Son?
I read the fucking Twitter feed for it, and like there's the sheriff's department leaving all these tweet updates, and it's like every 5 minutes they're like new information, this happened, and they're like we uncovered that he did in fact kill the lion. We're checking on autopsy to find out how. And then they come back and they're like, yeah, so it turns out they choked the shit out of the lion and fucking survived it.
That's the
Trying to
most.
contact the lion's family to inform them of the untimely death.
Mr. and Mrs.
Somehow.
Your fucking husband is dead. choked out like a bitch.
Fucking badass though.
By a
bait.
human.
It was
even have sharp
a
teeth.
juvenile though.
It was so it was a teenage. He
this
fucking fucked up a
changes
kid.
things.
He's a kid killer, and we're praising this
know.
human
Probably
piece of
steals
shit.
candy from babies too.
He probably
Listen.
he probably punches little kids that get in his way.
You would defend yourself if you were getting
I def-
attacked by a mountain
Oh,
lion,
dude.
regardless of age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That guy's
That'd be pretty intense.
savage.
Yeah.
Literally
Rip
savage.
Rip lion.
Rest in peace, mountain lion, the majestic beast of the Northwest.
So, Jason, in
Yeah.
your favor, there is a reboot of the Lion King.
So I heard,
coming out.
quote
So-
unquote live action.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that. And
Did you see
should
the
be
Jungle
too.
Book one?
No, I need
Fucking
to.
visually badass.
I'm still hurting that I haven't seen that yet.
Visually badass. I actually. I wanted to hate it when we started watching it. You know, it's just like, oh god, why change a classic, man? The original Jungle Book was the shit, and you got to be a real piece of shit to not enjoy the visual fruits of the technological era right now.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's fucking awesome, and that movie visually at least was cool.
Starting with, I'm going to say Avatar. Would you say that Avatar was the beginning of an era of new visual frontiers?
Almost like
that's
that
what it is in my book.
constant CGI. You know how sometimes it started with just little parts where people had to do something crazy that you could tell, like, oh, that's a little CGI, or with
Right.
Spider-Man when he's doing certain moves, like that's totally CGI. But Avatar was, a lot of people hate on that movie.
Sure.
And I fucking loved it. Who the fuck wouldn't want
Avatar?
to be the alien? Who wouldn't want to say fuck the regular normal human life because we've already fucked it? Who wouldn't want to be a blue one of those
It's
things?
an epic fantasy, and it's. I feel like some of the hate comes from, oh, they're just ripping off Pocahontas. I want to say.
Right, or Dance with Wolves, the same.
Sure. Yeah. That right.
That whole foreigner becomes
Civilized,
part of the
whatever, going back to the to the roots. Yeah.
kicking bird, kicking bird.
But no, I mean, it's easy enough to hate on it, but I feel like visually, at least, man, I saw that in IMAX, and I was just so dumbfounded. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, this is a thing that humans have figured out how to create something that looks like this. And, so the story is one thing, but then the visual part was its own thing.
Insane.
And I remember hearing James Cameron waited, 10 years to make that movie until the technology could, meet up with
Had
his
caught
idea.
up.
So.
I
story,
did
bro.
see it in theaters too. Did you see it in theaters?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
Yeah, it looked really nice and
it
really
was
clean.
beautiful. The texture of the ground when they were in those really all blacklit sort of places.
Yeah.
That whole Ferngully scene they ripped off. Sorry, James Cameron, but that was totally a Ferngully scene. But I thought, and maybe it's because I'm a stoner, and I get super ripped before a movie, or I used to before I had kids. Just get destroyed, ripped, and go watch a movie and really just
Experience.
just experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like completely just be locked into that one thing. And that movie was one of those ones where I didn't want to go take a piss.
But
How
it-
long is that one?
Oh, it's a
long one,
it's a
right? It's
long
like a
one.
3-hour motherfucker.
Yeah, I
check.
want to say, definitely 2.5, 3 hours.
But I looked at some clips of it recently.
Right.
It doesn't quite hold up, sadly.
Well, I mean, are you watching it at your house?
Well, yeah. But I'm saying like the CGI isn't as good as I remember it. Which,
Yeah.
It's
like
you can kind of see
I hate-
Well,
the
'cause that's like-
blurriness of it, and
yeah.
That's kind of back to my point of that was the first
Yeah.
step
Yeah.
in this new frontier, and so sure they've honed it. They've
that's how
improved it since
that's
then,
how
but-
fast they're honing it.
Right.
I mean, it's getting crispier and layered and more textured every time. Video games, it's insane. I was just
it was 2 hours and 42 minutes. Just gonna put that.
2 hours and 40.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a
Yeah.
previews and shit. That's a 3-hour tour that you're fucking taking to go to the movie
Epic.
theater.
Yeah.
But I feel like just it's so fast the way that we'll look back on something that was 5 years old and be like, oh, dude, that first Spider-Man looks like shit.
It
You know,
is.
Homecoming is fucking crisp,
Yeah, we brought it up many times. Like, it's crazy how much shit changes in 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's not even, no one ever realizes it.
Are
like,
we gonna change in 5 years?
5 years ago was 2014, right?
Fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
I posted that photo of me in 2014.
I loved the short haircut, dude. So
But
cute.
it's crazy how much change has happened since then.
Well, it didn't used to be like that, 5 years used to be an eternity.
It wouldn't wear on a man as it does now.
Now it's the blink of an eye.
Now it's so fast.
But
It's
yeah,
been fast my whole life.
I've been showing Riley and Sulia videos on my phone during breakfast of old Stand on the Sturge stuff when we did like live things here and there. And narcissistic as that may sound, my kids will sit there and eat and watch it, and they'll shut the hell up. It's great, And I was looking at, and a lot of those videos are from 2014 and on, and some of the early stuff, I was just like, wow, I look like a baby. I have like 5 tats. That's it, It's just funny to look back. I had that one red hat that I wore for probably like 5 years straight. Just by the time I was done, it just had so many wrinkles, was faded.
I saw that picture of you with like blonde hair.
Oh, yeah.
Just the tips or full
No,
on blonde?
full. I would try, but my hair was so dark, it would take a couple times, and I'd be paranoid that I was just going to sizzle all my fucking hair off with that bleach.
I'll burn my scalp. I don't care.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I saw. I didn't experience the burnt
I did
scalp
that so
myself,
many
but,
times. Bleached my hair too many times. I'm surprised I still got a full mop, dude.
It's funny we're talking about looking back, 5 years ago and thinking, oh man, I was so young or I look so different or whatever. Yeah. And for me, that also kind of happens just from one haircut to the next.
Yeah.
I look back at, the last time my hair was really short. I'm like, damn, I looked like that 6 months ago? Or
the fuck was I? I was a different man back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I mean, we've all had long hair before.
Yeah.
For me, my haircuts are always about a year apart.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it still is like a change. This time, though, I did get a haircut right before Chinese New Year because you're supposed to.
Okay.
It's like a traditional thing. Yeah.
You just got a haircut?
Yeah.
You don't look like a guy who
You
just
got
a
to
haircut.
trim.
Don't,
Is what you're
yeah,
fucking talking.
right.
Did
Let's
they
not
cut?
call it a haircut.
Did they cut your eyebrow hairs down? What are you fucking talking about?
It's because the freaking curls. I'm sure you know this.
Oh yes.
Like, she cut off 3 inches, but that's
No
half a
way.
curl.
Yeah.
So it's like
Wow.
it
Dude.
doesn't look like a lot.
Boy,
No
that's
one
6
noticed.
inches.
Not a single person noticed.
Does
No.
your mom have curly hair too?
No, not naturally.
Okay. She has pretty traditional, like standard, like Chinese. Like,
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck my hair came from.
It didn't come from your pops.
So my dad, when he did have hair,
right.
was straight, like normal white person hair.
Okay.
My mom's is very thin.
White people have one kind of hair. I just want you to know that. There's just normal, straight white person.
Generic, insert generic white people hair. My pops had like a ZZ Top beard and all that fun jazz.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
Sick.
She's got legs.
And then on my mom's Chinese, and she's got like very straight hair.
Yes. Very Asian bristly.
But she
hair.
always curls it.
Insert generic Asian hair.
So
Can we put up some images of what these things are for the vlog?
I'll put 'em
Just
up.
That'd be
the
so.
viewers know
Oh,
what
we're gonna
talking
get there,
about.
dude. We're gonna get a green screen blanket putting on one of these fucking walls.
Let's find some mugshots or something. Getty images, public domain.
So my grandma had curly hair, but I think she permed it a lot. So it was
Right.
kind of like, that's just how, I don't think she actually had hair like that.
Okay.
And my grandparents on my father's side my grandpa has wavy hair.
Okay, that's what's up. Wavy hair. Everybody shout out to
So
wavy hair.
he's the only one I can tell like possibly I got my hair from. But still, no one in my family has like ridiculous
Has the hair like
curls,
yours?
except for my cousin on my mom's side.
Okay. It goes. My dad, my sister, and me all have a lot of outside physical attributes that are similar.
Yeah.
And my brother kind of has sort of my mom's side, which like a little bit more European-y features. His hair is like kind of thinner and not really wavy, kind of straight.
Yeah.
And he's like the lightest skin sibling and stuff. And it's weird because my sister has 3 kids and her youngest is the lightest skin, and Sulia, my daughter, is significantly lighter skin than my son Riley. It's like we each have one.
Wow.
And my brother's only kid is pretty much like lighter skin like him too. It's funny.
So funny. Genetics.
Genetics, the way they cut through.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
I was actually just looking up curly and straight hair as far as what's dominant and
Right.
what's not. And it's apparently a case of incomplete dominance.
Ooh.
So
makes curly hair.
Yeah. So
well, no, that neither straight nor curly hair is necessarily dominant. But it's kind of complicated. I can't really get into it right now / read and comprehend everything while I'm trying to talk.
From what I remember in science class, dominant is uppercase,
right,
and recessive is lowercase.
Mm-hmm.
And I think curly hair is upper and lowercase.
Oh, okay.
So it
It's like a
has to
hybrid?
come from both. Yeah.
Right.
So then it depending on what that gene is mixed with. If it's mixed with another dominant, then you'll get that. But if it's
Fucking
mixed,
hell.
genetics are confusing.
I'm so confused. I took a life science class and I cut open a chicken leg that we got from the store. I didn't learn anything.
That didn't teach you anything about hair,
No,
did
it just was smelly because it's like lukewarm fucking store bought chicken in a hot ass classroom.
Dude, I physically failed every quarter of science, but my teacher passed me. I don't know if she just like felt bad for me
Maybe
or
she
something.
thought that you had this kind of like outside the books knowledge. She's like,
Yeah.
he gets
Like maybe
science.
retain the information, but you just didn't put down paperwork the way standard.
I mean, that's true.
Right.
Like, I didn't do any of her homework she assigned. Like, you'd read like 30 pages a night,
Right.
and then like write a report on it. And
30 pages a night?
yeah, I mean, it was. I don't remember, dude. But
That's
yeah, it was a
okay.
lot.
That sounds
and,
like a lot, man.
It
Sounds
was
like a teacher that didn't really want to do her job.
Yeah,
so.
fuck that
exactly.
class.
It was unnecessarily a lot, and I
Right.
didn't do any of it ever. But every quarter, I passed like the final test.
The test or whatever at the end.
Yeah, and then like I remember, halfway through the year, there was the half test, and it was 100 questions, and I got like 95% on it. And
Wow.
I didn't
Dude.
like, and she was like, I'm pretty sure you cheated. I'm like, I didn't cheat. I don't care enough to do that.
Did you?
I'm pretty
Were
sure
you
you
one of those? Were you one of those kids that really paid attention in class?
Yeah.
Or did you read the stuff and learn it that
No,
way?
fuck no.
You
I
paid
didn't read
attention.
shit.
That was me, dude. I just listened.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Watched-
passing notes.
watched
I
physically,
wasn't,
right.
Exactly.
twirling my gum on my finger, whatever. But I just listened, and that young sponge brain, whatever, it just worked for me. I just listened and just followed along every word, and then as soon as something clicked, a concept made sense, then
Yeah.
boom, it was in there, and then it would come out on the test, and I think I lost that somewhere along the line, which is sad. I thought like, oh, cool, that's just how my brain's gonna work forever.
I just remember trying so hard to pay attention and not draw swords or something on the edge of my papers.
Yeah.
And I took notes. I sort of prided myself in taking notes and having them in sub columns and writing down what I thought. But when it came down to going home and doing something with the formula, especially with math, I've said before on the show that math is just like one of the weakest subjects that I have. I don't know how I don't remember school.
Yeah.
I didn't retain shit, dude.
Well, to the note taking point, if I ever do come across a time machine, I'm gonna go back to your middle school self, and I'm gonna grab you by the cheeks, and I'm gonna say, stop taking notes.
Yeah.
And
shit.
obviously there's there's different learning style things
Yeah.
out there. I know some people are
I'm
visual,
more of an
some people are
old-fashioned person,
whatever.
though,
But
yeah.
to me, I always felt like people who are sitting there taking notes are distracting themselves from what I was saying, which is like
That's
just
how I
the
feel.
listening, just trying to follow along that every word. Because if I had to take away from that and write something down, then I'm already missing something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're losing a sensory
yeah.
sponge.
So
sort of thing.
no one gets that. Like my father told me he would take notes, but he didn't use the notes. He just said the physical writing of the stuff would help
Definitely.
him
There's definitely some
remember
truth
it.
to that.
Put it
Yeah,
in his-
and then
his
he would
brain.
give the notes to someone so that way someone else could know.
Nice.
Well, that's a dope dude.
Yeah, but I'm not that way, and I was like,
I didn't give notes to
No.
nobody.
I write like 3 letters a second. So that's not true. I was trying to make it dramatic.
lot.
3.
I was like, damn. Dude.
I'm slow at writing, is what I was trying to say.
He's the opposite of the thing he was
Yeah.
saying. You guys
I'm
understand
real
what we're talking
slow at
about.
writing, and I can't do it. So I was like, I'm not gonna write any. I rarely went into class with a notebook.
Let me ask you a question. because I'm kind of curious about this. Because me and you, I feel like we didn't have this extra factor. What age were you when you had your first cell phone?
Ooh.
Was it before high school?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like we wrote a lot. Cell phones and stuff. For me getting a cell phone, that was after high school. I didn't have a fucking cell phone in high school, even though they were kind of around the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I didn't have one. But as soon as I've started to become more dependent on my phone and texting, I find that when I write, dude, I barely want to get through a sentence before I'm like, this is fucking, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I hate this ink
ancient
and paper
tablet
stuff.
chiseling fucking bullshit Moses fucking commandment.
So
Fuck.
I know
Sorry. Amen.
phone. I mean,
Air quotes.
cell phones have
quotes,
existed.
yeah, very
Yeah,
much.
I guess
Air
you can't hear the air quotes. The cell phones have been
Right.
around for like since the 80s, right?
Yes, but
like-
bag
but
phones
but,
like
but
the-
for
in the
kids,
trucks
but
and-
for kids
So
to have a phone,
my phone was like a shit ass phone. Like it was still the like press A or press one
T9.
3 times for C,
T9
right?
texting.
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. Hey, I remember that, man.
Oh,
That
I could
was
do that in
awesome.
my pocket. I got so good at that. I could feel it and know like which letters were on the buttons, and I could text in my pocket with that shit. Can't
That's
do that
fucking
with
hot.
an iPhone.
That's hot, dude.
Oh, it was. I mean, it looked like I was playing around doing some
Yeah,
other
you put a
stuff
little
down there in
pocket
the
pull.
pocket. I was pretty good at that too, but
Lady next to you is like, "Dream on, you
corner
little fart."
pocket.
So I think
I heart ooh.
Send.
I was in 7th grade.
Okay.
I got mine junior year because that was when I got my driver's license.
Yeah.
So I got a car, and my mom was like, I want you to have a phone so that you can tell me, if you're going to be late, something like
Right.
that. So, but that
Damn,
was,
dude.
let me see, junior year, that was 2002 or 2003, something
I
like
graduated
that for me.
2001, and I think after I graduated, my mom was like, "Hey, you're gonna be getting a car soon, and I live in Oregon, so I would like to talk to you, and I want to make sure that you're
We
safe."
probably got our phones on the same day, got our cars on the same day, live in parallel
My
lives.
God, that's
Meant to be. And here we are, two atoms colliding.
just creating
With me.
the third hole. And Jason, you're the nucleus.
Yes, it's a black hole.
You are
That's
the
what happens when,
nucleus.
No class.
protons
Nucleus.
collide. It creates a black hole, right? Or
I think I have no idea, but I want to know
Back
about
to
that
that
stuff so bad.
school.
Wasn't
stuff.
isn't there a facility where they're
the Hadron Collider or
yeah
something like that?
they're ramming atoms into each other or
30
something like that,
miles
particles,
around, or
and they're creating these mini.
they're approaching the speed of light. They're like 99 point something percent to the
It's
speed
insane. What if something goes wrong? Does that just destroy our fucking
of light.
planet?
It is, yeah. Have you seen the what's it called? The Cloverfield paradox?
No, please explain for our
All right,
listeners out
so
there.
that'll be fun. This is one of the few pop culture references that only I am hip to.
You're
apparently.
hip, dude.
Um,
Hip to be square.
So you've seen some of the Cloverfield movies, maybe just the first one.
Yes.
So there's a sequel called the Cloverfield Paradox, which is it's not really a sequel. It's just a kind of an offshoot, same universe or whatever. But what happens is these astronauts are up on some kind of mission some point in the future, and then some really freaky shit starts happening. Like they find somebody's arm coming out of the wall, and it's like one of the astronauts that's on the ship right now. Or like somebody dies maybe, and then suddenly that person appears in the wall somehow, and it's so these weird little quantum things start happening, and they realize that there's some kind of parallel universe that one little butterfly effect thing happened somewhere, and
it's now affecting their reality.
Right. And so when they're getting back to Earth,
But not
it's
Travis
a different Earth than the one that they left. It's this
Ooh.
parallel universe, and there's some crazy monsters there, and yeah, that's enough of a rundown. It's pretty cool. It's a great premise, and I think they pulled it off pretty well. I'm sure there's some plot holes, but
Nowadays there's a critic that'll find a plot hole in something, but
yeah.
It reminds me of. Do you remember that show, Jason? Maybe not. But I love
Okay.
you so much. Okay, you know that.
But that's what I think the Hadron Collider could have caused.
Okay.
That to wrap that up.
Oh, okay, so that they were saying that might have been a possible cause in the show.
They didn't
that-
say it, but I'm gonna make
It
that
was
inference.
insinuated. That show Sliders with Jerry O'Connell.
I don't know
Nope.
it.
Basically, I
Don't
think it
got
was
it.
a bunch of. I don't know if they were students or quasi scientists or whatever, but they jump to a different dimension parallel universe, right? Like they're on Earth, but humans are flying to work instead of and so the whole show is them going from universe to universe to universe, where every time they think they're like home, something weird happens, and they're just trying to get home, and they're just sliding through dimensions.
So this is just
Sliders.
this is like the prereqs for Rick and Morty.
Basically, yeah. Not as funny and not as weird bathroom rape scene in the first season. You remember that?
In Rick and Morty?
Yeah, you don't remember that scene where
I closed my eyes.
it got real. There was no music. It was just this.
I don't remember.
They're at some bar or some place where Rick has taken Morty, and Morty goes into the bathroom, and there's some weird.
Yeah.
Thing, and he's like, yeah.
He
And it just gets dark, like Morty's about to get fucked in the ass by this creature. And I was thinking, hey, I like this show.
Yeah.
Very much.
Such a
Please
good
make
show.
more seasons.
Yes, please cue it up in my queuing now.
So something that's different between the way we were raised.
Ooh. Besides having a
Wait,
sick ass Chinese New Year, what else?
What do you mean?
Well, I had computer access, so
Yeah, but
wide internet access. I could
yes,
say.
you had the internet
So,
access. I had floppy disks,
Broad,
bud.
wide,
You ever heard of Scorched Earth, a tank game?
I
Of
had
skill.
I had floppy disk games when I was like 4.
What's the best floppy disk game you ever played?
Okay, well I was like 4, so
That's
like,
fine, dude.
I think it was like it was like a Tonka truck game.
My son would fucking love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
My
still
son-
have that? Because
No.
maybe
My mom probably has an old ass
maybe
computer.
Dom could find. I was gonna say you could find a computer at Goodwill with a floppy drive.
Oh,
maybe
dude.
not. Maybe not. But if your mom has one, that's easier. Oregon Trail for me. I mean,
Trail's
it
hot.
all computer games.
Dude.
Start and almost end for me at Oregon Trail. I mean, there was
Okay.
there was a Sims period, and there was
Sims was awesome.
oh fuck yeah,
You used to play Sims in school, I remember.
Simcopter. That was the one that I got most into.
Simcopter.
Oh god, that
Dude.
was
I held the Oregon Trail record for some time.
Shut the fuck up.
I was
What
actually-
do you fucking
Or-
mean?
No,
the
no,
record?
no.
Where's
Well,
this record being held?
I'll
Give
show
it up,
you.
Pull it up.
I'll show you.
Pull
I
it up,
posted it on
Jason.
Instagram when it happened. I was like, "What?" I had one of the top 10 scores on.
Well, what's the score? You either make it or you don't. You're alive.
Wait,
or
you had
you're,
you mean
you have dysentery.
You mean grandma, and all the kids fucking made?
No. Yeah, so there's a way to beat it.
Yes,
You're talking about
there
the
is.
floppy game, not the CD-ROM later version of it.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah, wow, that looks like DOS. That looks.
yeah, it was.
MS, I'd like to
So-
correct you,
I was in
.exe.
the top 10.
dude. Oh, man, I know I'm sounding like a fucking dingberry, but I just seeing that font. And that
Right,
screen,
that's what I'm saying.
That really takes me back a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that
Wow.
like an arcade game box in a local place around here, or
No, I
this
played
is-
it online. They
No,
eventually
see, there was no online when Oregon Trail was on floppy
there
disks.
it was eventually
But if he's playing on a worldwide scale, that's pretty
Yeah.
dope to be in top 10 worldwide.
That's what I was saying. It's the
Probably
same
only 10 people
it's the
on the
same
internet at that point.
Time out. It's the same it's
Time out.
Stop getting so mad at me. It's the same game. It's the same. Like it's literally the same entity.
okay, right.
They've updated it
I'm
so
seeing
that
it.
way it's
I'm getting it now.
still
How
playable.
come Jiffer lost? Jiffer?
Oh,
Wait, are you not
I'll
supposed
put
to
that
put
up
your
on
real
the
name
screen.
and you did?
I don't know.
Right? He's
Okay,
like,
on.
here's my
Jiffer-
social security number, Jason.
This dude's name
Eagle.
is Jiffer Lawson, and he holds 3rd, 4th, and 5th place.
Damn.
And then the dude who owns it is Stephen Meek.
He has the top 2.
Jason, I'm fucking proud of you for. Oh, and his brother Ezra Meeker. Oh,
I
wait,
probably
that's
don't
his cousin,
still
Meeker.
own it.
Meek and Meeker.
Meeker than you.
Fucking,
Is that a good thing? I
And
don't
then
think so.
Sublet. These are not real people. You have been playing AI.
These
I'm just
are
kidding.
hackers.
That's pretty awesome. I could not get past Everyone's Got Dysentery. You die. I hunt 2 times. Great game.
all the hunting.
The hunting was the only part I gave a fuck for. But I used to play Wolfenstein.
Oh my god, I love that
Wolfenstein.
game.
It was
3D.
Wolfenstein 3D.
Hell yeah.
We also had the what you would later call the downloadable or expansion pack, Spear of Destiny, Wolfenstein, and early Doom.
Doom,
I have
yes.
all of those.
I believe the very first
So good.
PC version.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for having those games.
Flight Simulator, the very first flight simulator where you would make an airplane, and you would have to do the dimensions of the wings. I don't know how I even got through that. I was just like boop 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 boop, and if it was too short, it didn't work. I would just go longer wings. I just crashed a lot of planes, and you would fly through a downtown tall building metropolis, and you could get sideways with the plane, and it was so slow nowadays. But back then, you just thought you were fucking flying. It was like Star Fox, but super fucking slow. And
I thought of Star Fox too when you did the sideways thing.
Remember,
barrel roll?
That was the coolest part.
Roll. Right?
Remember the ribbit, and he was saying barrel roll, you fuck.
Barrel roll.
It's a trap. I think he says it's a trap in that, and they probably never paid any royalties.
Did you guys check
Star
out
Wars.
the weird little and it wasn't called Star Fox, but it was about Star Fox?
Yeah.
On YouTube, it was this quick show.
No.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. It was
That rings a
called
bell.
Space. I forget what it was called, but you could tell it was about Star Wars. It had all the characters, and it was sort of an Adult Swim sort of esque feel to it.
Yep.
Dude, there's so. Thank God for those people that did like early animation stuff on YouTube. Like there was this one show called Mario Z, and it was just it was in 2009, and they just took like Mario and animated themselves and made like an adult show about it. And it was just so good. Like the forefront of all that stuff.
There was a live action Super Mario show too.
Oh yeah, dude.
And they would go into cartoon, like they would go in the fucking pipe and go, "Whoa, Luigi! Now we're in Marioville."
That was a good show.
That was a great show. And it had all the sound effects from the video game.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Me and my brother used to have... Me and my brothers. I got one of these motherfuckers. Me and my brother used to have a Mario tape that would go along with a book. And you'd play the tape and you'd read the book, in the same... And bling! Turn the page and you... Wow!
Wow.
I loved that fucking
Multimedia
book.
experience.
Yeah,
I was experiencing multiple medias at the same time.
That's not real. Stop that.
It's your multitasking brain.
Well, I'm ADHD, so I've got all kinds of shit going on at the same time.
And you need that, right? You need
Oh,
that,
you have to
like,
have that.
stimulation
Yes.
to calm you.
There's no... If I didn't have video games, my mom probably would have had a harder time finding something for me to do that didn't involve me fucking myself up outside, or getting into just... I spray painted the side of the house one time.
Yikes.
Lot of little dumb weird things that I did. Just not good. Not good.
Oh man, that brings up a nice little story time idea, but I guess along those lines of spray painting the side of the house, like what was something that you did as a child that putting yourself now in your parents' shoes would just be like, oh my God, that would drive me crazy if my kid did that.
Is there certain age?
Right. So I feel like the age that I'm kind of picturing is maybe 12, maybe, kind of little pre-puberty. I don't know. That's pre-puberty for me, but maybe not for
you had a beard
all
at
you
17,
badasses,
probably.
So I know that I just used to climb a lot of things. I climbed trees. I climbed on top of my house, and my mom was pretty cool about it. She tells me now, that when I was a younger child, she thought that it was very important for me to have kind of physical confidence, she calls it, so that she would allow me to explore things like that. But she would be there. She wouldn't be the parent yelling like, "Get your ass down here!" But she would be there in case I did fall, so that
so she could say, "Told you so."
Yeah, right. So that she could either catch me or call 911 or scream or something, but
or do the thing where they
kiss my boo boo,
let you fall, but kind of fall slow, like, oh, see what could have happened? Could have broke your necky.
Right. So we had this giant sawhorse set up next to my house to hold staging, so that we could paint the house.
Right.
And I had some friends over, so we're all climbing up all on these sawhorses. In my child mind, they're gigantic. Looking back, they're probably 10 or 12 feet high.
Climbing up on
them. But we're like, this is crazy. And so I had this buddy over, and his mom shows up to pick him up as we're climbing up on these things. And she jumps out of the car. She's freaking out, screaming, and I'm just like, why is this bitch losing her shit right now? Like, I do this all the time, and we're fine. There's nothing, I've probably even fallen off this thing a few times, and, I'm 11 years old, so it's okay. I just bounce. But my mom was cool with that. His was not.
Oh man, 12, God, I don't remember. I think my brother started smoking weed at around 12 years old.
Wow.
And didn't tell me for until I was 14. He didn't tell me. So, but what we would do is we'd sometimes borrow my mom's car. We were around that 12, 13 years old.
He's smoking weed
and we,
hijacking.
especially, it may not have been. I might have had to have been a little bit older. Maybe with like freshman, sophomore year, 14. 14, 15. When we would come visit up in Oregon. Mom, I love you so much. But we'd come visit in Oregon. We would. When they would, because they would go to sleep at like 8 o'clock. It was clockwork, and we'd hop in the car, and we just, because automatic, it's not hard to drive it. And there's only back then there was fucking 3 cops for all of Eagle Point, so you just had to just look out for the 3 cops that usually were just at the station. Nothing was going on, and we would always drive over to a friend's house and hang out for a little bit, or just drive around and come back. And I got to the point where my stepdad would go out and feel the fucking hood of the car and try to catch us. Oh yeah, they were. We've never been too good at getting away with shit when it came to parents. Like I've gotten away from the law. I've lied to the law a couple times. I've played teachers like fucking fiddles. I will say this though. There was a point. And this, I think, has had residual effects on my father up till now. I don't think he ever fucking fully recovered from this. But it was the first year that we had moved to Monrovia, okay? So imagine from 3rd grade to 8th grade for me, I lived up here in Oregon. And I knew just Oregon. We had one black fucking student. There was, I don't know, any Asian people.
Still don't.
Until in my cul-de-sac, this Japanese family moved in, Alex and Roland, and they were homies. That's why I have that wooden bokken samurai sword. It's from his dad.
Gotcha. And
so, when we moved to Monrovia, it just was a culture shock. But we were fucking super into it. It was awesome.
No doubt.
But we decided to, my brother's 7th grade year and my freshman year, we decided to throw a party. I think towards the end of that year to sort of. Get to know the neighborhood and like, kind of meet people and introduce ourselves. Because we came late. Came 2 weeks into the year. 7th grade is a big change.
Into the school year?
Yeah, into the school year. So I'm starting high school brand new, don't know anybody.
Yeah.
My brother's starting 7th grade. He's starting junior high, doesn't know anybody. So we have this party, okay? And the apartments that we lived in were like giant squares and then units inside, and then in the middle was a little walkway you could get into the sides, but it would look like a square unit. And we have this party in this small fucking apartment, man, and it's a lot of people, and it fucking rages pretty good. Okay. And my parents, my dad and my stepmom would always go to Vegas just on a fucking weird weekend note. They would flip and go to Vegas, and they would leave us, alone for a weekend, which is fucking stupid. By this time, we've already almost gotten shot by the cops, have had a weird envelope full of money show up at our mailbox and have cops stake out the spot. Like, as my stepmom called the cops and said, hey, we've got about like $4,000 here in small bills in this envelope in our mailbox. This is not addressed to us. So they said, put it back. We're going to stake some undercovers around. We're going to see who picks this up because we think this is drug money. Someone's buying pills or whatever. There's a big pill problem in Monrovia when we first got there.
Damn.
And that's when I met a cop named Dominic Padilla.
Whoa.
And he was a black dude canine cop. Fucking crazy, right? So by this time, we've done some shit, some tomfoolery, and then weird things have happened. And we clean everything. We clean the house. I mean, we leave no trace of this party. We cleaned up so well that my stepmom found out that we had a party because we cleaned up so well. Because she said, A, why did you clean up my ashtray of my cigarettes? And B, I don't smoke those cigarettes that are in my ashtray. So you guys had a party? She would always come away from my father off the side and be like, hey, you guys have a party? Or you guys smoking weed? I'm going to give you one chance that you better kick it right now. Don't do it, because next time I got to tell your father. Right. I can only help you out one pass. I did some stupid stuff when I was a kid. She was really cool.
That's cool.
She was the link. My dad didn't kick my ass because of my stepmom. Get in the middle and be like, hey, he's fine. He's just a little bit of weed, don't kill him. But the kicker for my father was that about a week later, eviction notice on our apartment.
Oh, damn.
We got, my dad and stepmom, the only eviction notice they've ever had in their
And
renter's
that goes
history.
on your record.
Dude,
shit.
it goes on your record, and my dad was fucking devastated. Not even, he was so pissed, he just was bummed out towards us. And I remember just thinking, like, we are the biggest pieces of shit kids ever, and you should have been there our whole life, Dad. Son of a bitch, you were there at 14. Oh, I learned it from watching you. But I hope Riley doesn't do that to me. Fuck.
I know it changes it so much when you put yourself in the parent's position and think like about your kid doing these things, you know. But you got to remember, man, I was in their shoes too. I mean, obviously, we're talking decades into the future for you and I,
thank
until our
God.
children reach these ages where they start getting these crazy ideas. But
Right.
you got to remember we were there too. And
Weed's legal now, Kyle. That's going to be a different reality.
for now. For now, it's legal.
How do you think it's gonna be when your kid is my age?
It's hard because do I assume that Riley's just going to be like me, or do I assume that he's going to try to be not like me because he sees me like me, you know, and he's annoyed of his father?
I think there's some pretty good signs right now that he's going to be a lot like you.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty safe to assume he's going to be a hyper ADHD, get moved around the classroom sort of kid like me and my sister were. I feel like
Life of the party.
already he's very yappity, and that's going to be a big factor
Yeah.
into.
How old is he?
He's 2 now.
Yeah, and he attempted to say something to
Yeah.
me when I got here.
Yeah, and he will if you sit down long enough. He'll pop off almost full sentences. He's not. It's a weird thing because Sulia, my daughter, will if she doesn't know you, it's like, whoa, that's weird. Don't get close to me. But Riley will get taken by a stranger for sure. Gone, abducted. That kid has abduction written all over his crazy fucking face. But I think when he gets your age, when he's out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the way that I've taught him to look at the world will have him understanding stuff. And I feel like kids nowadays in a younger perspective are not really super into trying weed or being stoned all the time.
Kids, what? I'm sorry, what?
I guess maybe they are. Are you fucking high, Jason? Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever,
No, it's like
Jason.
Kids have so many more things that are like just as alluring as that these days.
That's
you
very
know,
true.
To go back to just the computer, the internet, whatever. It's
Were
like,
you saying you said kids aren't trying to get high?
Yeah, like I noticed people like when I was just out of high school, I was pretty much getting stoned as much as I fucking could.
Yeah.
You know, I also moved out my own place
Yeah.
when I was 17, you know, or I moved out with my friend for a year at his parents' house, and then we got our own spot. And so I tried to be high every single day since then.
So
I literally tried.
I think it's just weird because you know me. Like,
Right.
who else do you know that's high school or my age?
Well, you know, like my nieces and nephews,
Uh-huh.
and just friends. They're younger siblings. You know, they're not. I notice a lot more kids younger are not really super into like getting stoned. It's not. I don't feel like a lot of
that's
people
what I'm
are.
seeing.
Yeah, a lot of people are not like in high school where a lot of people ripped all the time.
Yes.
Smoking weed at school.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Maybe we just don't see these
Yeah,
kids.
that's what
Maybe
I'm
the
thinking.
kids that we see are at our job, for
Nerdies.
example, and they're
Fucking
pretty,
nerds.
you know, pretty, I don't know, wholesome people, I guess.
Yeah, and-
or they're on some kind of straight narrow path kind of thing. They
Crazy
got jobs.
parents,
They've got
maybe.
jobs.
Yeah,
so
they've got
those
jobs
are
at
those
16
are the
and a half.
18-year-old kids that I'm running into.
They got work permit.
Exactly.
Fucking kids.
you have me and Ethan as references.
as my closest link. Yeah, you know what, Jason? Maybe you're right.
So it's
Maybe
not-
I'm not as cultured as I once was. But also, being in it, like the last couple of years I was in Stanley and we toured.
Uh-huh.
You know, a lot of those shows were all ages, so there was a lot of younger kids there, and most of them were fucking like I got a lot of straight edge vibe in the East Coast. East Coast is like kind of a lot of hardcore kids, but edge. Like not a lot of
Yeah.
people were running to get weed now that it's legal. You know, not as much as I thought. I thought more kids would be, you know, fucking up and getting high, but maybe because it's legal, it's not as
It's
hard
not
to get.
No,
alluring.
I think the only thing you're seeing is that it's not as cool to display anymore.
Right.
Because people are so accustomed to it that they don't even. It's not like something to flaunt anymore.
That's actually a really good point. It's like because it used to be fun to fucking take a little bit of like, oh shit, smoking weed right here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Now that's probably not the case.
Most
too much.
like most people I know would have. Like, it's a casual thing. Like, there's obviously like a major weed smoking group at our school, and they have like their little place that's away from the school that they all like run to during lunch.
Go rip it up with my bros. Rip a weed.
So they're like the obvious typical ones that you probably would have been.
All right, me back here at
fuck,
420,
man?
guys.
Just kidding.
Dude, 420, whatever class you are in, fucking bail on it.
And if you're still in class at 420, then you're already high enough.
are a
You're not in
fucking
class
nerd.
right now. No.
You don't know where you live.
You're on math team. Okay.
Chronic has just hit your fucking street block, homie. It was fucking shitweed for a long time, though, man. You know, these kids today get to fuck with 70-something% oil. Woo! Used to have some brown ass seed stemmy fucking pick through it dirt shit.
I'm seeing some of actually the flip side of the coin here, the older generation that is now getting maybe back into weed because it's legal.
Yeah.
You know, people who like, oh, I'm 30 now, I'm 40 now, whatever. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
but,
don't
you know,
smoke weed
now
anymore.
it's legal. They're 60 or whatever, and they're like, oh well, shit, it's legal. All right, cool. And or maybe they've been doing it all along. But anyway, now they're just more out in the open about it. It's like, cool, it's legal. I got nothing to hide. I'm going to talk about this, you know, in front of my coworkers. But anyway, what I'm getting at is that they are running into the weed of 2019 that's super concentrated, whatever. And they're smoking it like it's the old dirt weed, you know? Just like, oh yeah, I just smoke a joint to the face. That's what I do. Makes me feel good. It's like, you
can't do that anymore,
now.
man.
No, it's a whole new ball game.
Shit'll fuck you up.
They've perfected this stuff and concentrated it down, and a little dab will rock you for 12 hours.
The first dab I ever took literally fucked me up so crazy that I didn't want to drive my stick shift truck home from my Indian grandpa's house. I was like,
I'm so
I'm gonna
glad
stay
that
here,
you
Jim.
knew not to drive. I'm
Yeah.
so glad.
My legs were shaking. I was trying to push in the clutch. Legs just shaking. Thought, nope, not going to do it. This
And you
is
know
not
what?
gonna
That
work
moment right there, that is why you're sitting here today in the third hole speaking into this microphone.
Third
because
hole.
you made the right
Amen.
decision at that moment.
out. A fucking men, dude.
So you may act like such a teenager, but you know what you're doing.
You know, there's always been a certain amount of fucking around that I'd allow, and then I never wanted to be a fuck off to have my mom bummed out for me. You know, that was my dad. Me and him butted heads so much that I was like, I don't give a fuck. You know, if you are proud of me or not, because you've never given me that, so I'm not expecting it now. But my mom was always someone who said, here's you can do whatever you want, just do the right thing. And I always tried to, but I've never lost a job fucking around, you know, like weed or anything like that, you know?
Well, I think, like, you know when to behave.
Yes. And plus, you know, when you smoke weed for so many years every day, it's not like, whoa, man, fucking dragons, dude.
Right.
It's just kind of like, hey, I just had my cup of coffee in my head, you know?
It's about testing boundaries and
It's about freedom.
hey now. It's about pushing, you know, your tolerance a little bit each time,
Yes.
as opposed to just like jumping off the deep end, going nuts, you know, hitting a dab and then trying to drive, you know, across LA or something like that. So
go like have a job interview, dab the fuck out,
Right.
trying to figure some
so
shit out.
As
That's
long as
too
you're
much.
as long as you're taking baby steps, then you know you can keep your wits about you and have good judgment even
Right.
at that age and even when you're doing those things. But yeah, it's a tolerance.
And it's
thing.
kind of important now too, as a dad, that you know I don't spend my time with him ripped out of my brain. You know, I try to.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you smoked all that weed before, so that your tolerance is, you know, allows you to keep your wits now.
I can still sing Baby Shark high as a motherfucker. It's not going to stop me from doing my dadly doodlies. But I think, I don't know. I think it's something about having fucking the ADHD vibe that I have going on with myself that weed
helps you.
levels it out.
Yeah,
exactly.
It allows me to slow down.
I got your back
and
on
focus
that.
on one thing.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen me at work, and I'm, you know.
I mean, when I first met you, honestly, I was like, "What is this guy on? What is he?" You know,
Fuck.
I mean, not in any hardcore sense, but how
I've
many
heard it
cups of
before.
coffee has he had? You know, that kind of thing. And then I just see you at all hours of the day, and your metabolism just is twice as fast as mine. I swear it has to be. If there was some way for us to graph something out,
I'm
I
just
mean,
eating and
I've
shitting.
got this little slow
Eating and
wave
shitting.
going, and you got some peaks and trough. You got like a seismic thing going.
I don't. Mine's
It's
slower
cool.
than a fucking
It's really
turtle.
You've entered a state of ketosis, Jason. Okay? And you're riding that pipe out, and you're doing better than me. You're more fucking healthy than I am
Thanks,
right
bud.
now. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm 30 down from my heaviest.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. Losing 30 pounds is no fucking joke. I have only gained weight. I have not lost anything.
You know, the last time I lost weight, it was
That Coke binge of 96?
It
When
was
I first met you.
it was when I had mono, actually.
Okay.
Back in I think it was 2011, but I was in my early 20s, and I think I lost about 20 pounds over the course of a couple months until I really started
Shit.
to get my energy back, and then I've been back to the slow weight gain since then, but it's not the kind of muscular weight gain that I had been experiencing earlier in my life, in the late teens, early 20 years.
Yeah, you
that
come
was-
back stronger.
Yeah, when you get mono in your early 20s and you have some of that, muscle atrophy or whatnot, and then
That spina bifida.
it's really hard to get back on the treadmill, so to speak.
Me and you have got some work to do.
Yeah, no, it's much harder now.
But you're taking a very healthy step for your breathing and everything by quitting the chiefing and no libations. I mean, I honestly believe you're gonna, if you were out doing physical stuff, you'd see the difference probably more if you're pushing your body a little bit more than just doing the regular routine that you do.
Right.
I think you'd notice, hey, I'm not getting as winded as much. I don't have the gunk in my lungs because I can tell I cannot skateboard
Yeah.
for periods of time like I used to, and that's directly linked to fucking ripping some rippy magoos.
For sure.
Shout out to Bob Menery. If you don't follow Bob Menery on Instagram, he's a fucking hilarious dude. And I just jocked him right now, so fuck you.
Rippy.
Go on,
Magoos.
Kyle. Kyle, what's the worst part about being in the middle of mono?
It was the worst sore throat that I've ever had in my life, and I didn't know that was a part of mono. But
I didn't know that either.
no,
until
I
right now.
remember looking in the mirror at the back of my throat and seeing what looked like, I don't know, something from a alien movie that looked like 15 things were about to be birthed inside my neck. Just these little swollen,
Yeah, like
Stranger
whatever,
Things.
Buck swole
nodules and
things on
stuff.
it?
Yes, exactly.
Ew, you're creepy.
And being like, oh, that's why it hurts so bad every single time I swallow. Okay, note to self: try to swallow as little as possible. But I mean, nothing could help really that I found. But that only lasted about 5 days, so I didn't have a terrible bout of mono.
Mahalo.
Mahalo. But so I got through that bad part quickly. It was just more the drawn out recovery that I went through because I got it at such a late stage. Most people, it's a high school thing. People are kissing around, whatever, and
People are macking and scamming.
I don't know. Maybe are kids using protection these days? Did you hear about?
You use dental dam when you French
Did you hear
kiss?
about any kids get mono when you were in high school?
Mono? No.
No.
Dude, they probably put that in the vaccinations.
Vaccines.
They
Yeah,
fucking
that's what
vax
I was
that out
thinking,
real
huh?
quick. That's a vaxxer, dude.
I don't know. I've never heard of that though.
No, I don't think. That's actually really interesting. I would like for you to come back on the show with a little bit of mono research and see what the results are, if it's still as prevalent as it was,
Yeah. Right.
or if or like has it ever been prevalent, or are you just part of a really small Or did you know other people that had mono? Because I remember one or two people
In high
my
school,
life.
I knew a couple kids that were out of school for a while.
Did they
because
all
of it.
kiss the same chick, dude, or dude
No,
or
it was
chick, whatever it
different
was?
times. I never
Chick
heard like,
dude.
oh, so and so got it from so and so.
Okay,
And
okay.
I don't even know who I got it from. Honestly, I have a pretty good idea. It's not like I was just slewing around hardcore. It's like maybe
you
2 or 3
slut.
candidates, but maybe somebody was a carrier of it, and that's why
Your mom
they,
should stop
I
listening
didn't
right now.
know that
It's
they had it.
getting
Yeah,
Go
Mom,
ahead
it's
and-
okay. It's okay.
Go ahead.
He's fine now. I swear he's fine.
And this could all be fictionalized anyway. Who knows if any of this is even
He could
true?
just been really fucking bummed out. Music could have sucked in 2000. Who was with arms wide open? When did Creed? I just saw a video of Creed playing like some stadium thing, and he just is like he's running majestically with the mic and. Can you tell me? And he's just jutting his fucking chin out on
right,
purpose.
because he
I
does
think.
that thing that the AC/DC
That butt
singer,
rock,
the second singer of AC/DC, where you're saying that maybe he juts the chin out. The AC/DC guy tucks the chin back into the Adam's apple, right, to get his.
Can that even be considered singing, or is he just making bat fucking noises?
I don't know. I can make some noises kind of like that, but I wouldn't call it singing.
I remember the last time I think the first time I had you on the show, you fucking primal yelped so loud.
Yeah,
It was.
I don't know if it's Bat Boy, my Bat Boy impersonation.
I think
or
it was the
something,
Bad
but
Boy from Wisconsin, which is my favorite National Enquirer cover. Still.
I'm not even going to do that today, though, because
Please don't.
For my own sake and for the sake of anyone
All the
else
listeners.
who, may come in
For all
contact
those who
with
are
the third
listening in surround sound.
I'd have to ask you to please turn the volume down on your receiver.
We'll
But I'm
just,
not going to do that.
okay.
We're
We'll
coming
skip
up close to an hour here, boys.
Yeah.
Is that good?
I mean, obviously,
That's good, right?
I don't think we'll ever be done, but this is just one of those we all got to meet up again and shoot the shit a little bit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I think we should shoot for not 2 hours, like an hour
Yes,
to an hour and a
yes.
half is good.
I like hour-long podcasts. I think that's sweet until we have more content. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, there's that fucking word again, Jason.
Content.
Why are you always
Dude.
fucking saying that word?
Because it's what everyone needs.
It's what they want, baby.
It's what they want.
It's what's inside you.
So just one thing though, because we're gonna
Do
air this one.
This will be the one coming out Monday, and then you're gonna listen. Basically, you guys don't need to know the inner workings. Just know that you're welcome for an episode coming out every week.
Every Monday.
And Jason has been a wonderful addition to that. And one of his first things was like, we got to get an episode out every week. And it makes me more excited because I get to have my friends come and shoot the shit.
Yeah.
You know?
But since
AKA
I love
Kyle
shooting
Sutherland.
shit.
Yes?
The shit has been shot.
Oh,
and
it smells like shit in here in the hole.
I wonder if anyone's actually ever shot shit. Like if that's where that
shot shit.
phrase comes from.
Will
You see that pile
yeah.
of turds over there? I'm gonna shoot that with my
Haven't you
shotgun.
ever started a poop or had a poop that was a quick diarrhea blast and it just shotgun sprays the back of the thing? That's a shot.
Right,
I've
but
had
how does
turds
that-
hit the wall and stay on the side.
You have not.
Yes, I swear. And those are the ones that I have to get
You're
the brush
that
out.
guy when I go into that public bathroom. I'm like,
Yeah.
who the fuck does this? It's
Dude.
you.
And if I'm drunk, I don't clean. I just go. Blah, blah, I just flush,
the
and
fuck?
it doesn't get it. 'cause
Okay,
the-
but how does that turn into a couple of guys chumming around, having a good time shooting shit? I
Maybe-
feel like it's more of a backwoods thing. Like, hey, look, there's some bear shit over there. I'm gonna shoot it.
You're right with the backwoods. Remember back in the day, you're hunting with your buddies. Y'all just cop a squat back to back. No one looks at each other
Yes.
shitting. You're shooting the shit. You're talking about stuff that you can't talk about because you have to be quiet when you're hunting. But when you're So Bob, how the kids? I don't know. Jimmy, he's fucking on LSD. He's shooting people
Yeah.
with my gun. I don't know. I lost where I was going, but
That's
you
okay.
understand.
We're trying to wrap it up. All right.
Wrapping it up.
Fuck
I do
me.
want to bring up one thing though, since this is the closest one to the news.
That's hot.
Super Bowl.
Oh
Did either of you watch it?
no, because fucking who cares?
I watched the second half.
You
Okay.
piece of shit.
Super Bowl sucked. Trash game.
Mm-hmm.
It was just bad all around. Not even good
I'm
football.
glad I watched the second half rather than the first. I think
it
that
was still
would've been- yeah.
weak, but
Right. For
yeah.
Sure.
You always want a Super Bowl to be super exciting.
It's the big game.
Yeah.
It's the one that everybody's talking about all year, and the day after it, they're like, all right, how do we win the next one?
I
And
think
that's
it's
what all
on.
about.
I think it's going down.
Dude, I think sports. What is the word? Attendance in general has gone down quite drastically.
Whoa, guys, it's one bad game. Come on now. Still 100 million people watch that thing. That's one
What's
out of
more
like
exciting,
4
the
Americans.
Super Bowl or the Hawaii Bowl?
Like the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, I think the Pro Bowl is fucking more exciting. Dude.
Well, if they took it seriously, it would be awesome. But
That's true.
it's just
That's
a little. It's like a little
It's like a
runway
celebrity
fashion show.
hangout,
It's like,
yeah.
all right, now it's my turn to walk up and like, oh, look at me pose. Yeah.
catch the
No,
my
they
fade.
should definitely do something with that though, because you take all of that talent and theoretically that should be the most exciting thing to watch. All the best
There should
players.
be
But
football. There should be pickup football games where it's just like a little 5-on-5. You know, you got some like dirt, or you got some like little wooden poles.
Let's take it back to the streets.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah,
That's
NFL
hot,
Blitz.
Jason.
NFL Blitz.
You know what
style.
that's about, baby.
dude. But
Talk to me, Goose.
the whole halftime show.
Yeah, I heard Adam
Fiasco.
Levine took his shirt off, and why is he so buff for being in Maroon 5?
Dude.
Your audience is girls. Who's gonna fight you at the end of the show? What are you doing, buddy? You got a butterfly
He would.
on your side.
I think
Bitch mode.
watching it, he was really nervous.
Hmm.
At least that's what it looked like.
Right. In the service.
So maybe he was doing that for like distraction purposes. Also, I feel like the amount of like it was very short notice for all of that because people didn't want to do it simply.
Right. There was all the controversy just leading up to it
Yeah.
about people turning it down and
Yeah.
who's going to do this thing.
So I feel like because they had Maroon 5 on there, I feel like they threw Travis Scott and Big Boy and the choir in there to put like ethnicity in it. So that
Right.
way,
Absolutely. Pretty,
so that way they
pretty
could, like-
shamelessly. Yeah. I mean, do you think there are these corporate guys, whatever, going, okay, we need to be as safe as possible
Yeah.
for Super Bowl 2019. How do we pull this off?
make sure there's some ethnic people in
right.
there.
I mean, Maroon 5, first of all, is,
Squeaky clean.
yeah, who's yeah, they're all over the airwaves. Everybody loves them. And
Except Adam Levine probably gets mad fucking pussy. I'm just
Except for the other ones, is that what you're saying?
saying.
The other ones don't.
No.
but yeah, absolutely
Who's
throwing.
fucking Travis Scott?
I'm not sure either, but I know Big Boy, and if just knowing that
Kylie
Travis.
Jenner.
Oh, okay,
Oh yeah.
okay. Thank
So
you for
that's
that.
fucking even more gross.
bad.
Fuck you guys. Fuck Tyler Scott and what is his name? Tyler Perry.
Tyler Scott.
Medea's big old house of mad.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, throwing some, all the
Fake
colors
ass
of the
Kylie
rainbow
ass
in
Jenner.
there
Yeah.
to make sure. Okay, we've covered all our bases here. We've got
I feel like it was just like way too
Little
politically focused. And
It's like
forced.
it's like the group of kids in a Barney episode. There's always one of every ethnicity, and the black kid's always going super hard on the singing. You know.
I didn't
I was
watch
just
Barney,
watching some
so I
old
don't
Barney
know.
clips. That's why I'm doing this. 'Cause, like
Okay.
the little girl, that little black girl, she was getting it. She was like, "I'm fucking becoming an actor, even if I gotta do this stupid purple dinosaur bull kid, fucking white kid shit. Ain't no black kids watching this shit." Not bad.
Is it? I mean, but can we expect anything different? Really? I mean, it's what if they didn't do that? Then, I mean, would we be sitting here saying like, "Wow, that was the whitest Super Bowl show ever"?
Right, yeah.
So, I missed.
I think the
Super
whitest
Bowl
Super Bowl show ever was Creed when they played. Was that when they did?
They did.
Did they do
you
a Super Bowl?
bastard. No.
I don't think so.
No.
Can you take me?
I don't know. Ever since the Justin Timberlake and the Janet
Booby?
Jackson, I think they've just been they've been on their heels ever since. Like, okay, guys, we can't take any chances anymore. We gotta
We know what works. Boobies,
Rolling
black
Stones,
and white
yeah,
together.
great. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
And I think with that,
I think with that, everybody go rewatch that clip and check out Janet Jackson's fucking.
I'm about to have a
delicious-ass
wardrobe malfunction, so
I'm
Okay.
about to rip Kyle's tit out, and this show's gonna get fucking even more famous than it already is.
I'm gonna have you naked by the end of this episode.
Hey, so since we've gone on Spotify, we'll talk about it later. Listen, we got to end this. I'm not an ender of shows.
That's
but
all
it's
right.
So good.
Finish him.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yes, thank you, Kyle, for coming. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
We'll see you guys next time. This is episode 14, and please tell all your friends so we can get this shit crazy syndicated and do some sick ass commercials. I would love to talk about commercials.
Give us some money. I'm
Give
just
us
kidding.
comments. Give us comments. Jason needs money because he works at a place that sucks.
We need to get this up and rolling.
We need
you know?
fucking cash.
It's
honestly.
about to pop off, and you know you want to be in on that shit before it gets big. You want to be able to say,
Listen,
I was there at the beginning.
When we get stocks, we're definitely going to sell stocks. So you're going to want to do this.
We might be going public soon. You know, nothing, no promises.
We don't need money per se. We need support.
We just want to thank you guys so much for listening
Thank
to this
you.
stupid fuck. Who the fuck listens to this show? You guys are great.
Someone.
Please leave us feedback.
Guys are amazing.
Let us know
And
what
yes.
you want to hear. You know,
Do you want to hear more about Olympics? Because I don't want to talk about it. But if the readers want it, well, then I'll fucking.
The readers will get it.
If you want to hear more skin, let us know.
If you want more Playboy articles, please write in.
We should probably come up with a demographic for this show, though.
Dude, I can write a Playboy sex article. I used to,
Oh?
dude. Quick side note before we end. I used to write girls little trashy romance novel sex little quick stories
Oh my
in letters and texts. Oh my god!
So you didn't do this pen and paper. You did it in texts, no doubt.
I'll ask my wife. I've hit her with some fucking sagas. Okay, we have to go. It's episode 14. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.